resting face. EXP laners, are they the ones that we have to keep an eye out for? Or does Falcon, like I'm looking at Benny, is he enough to put the team on his shoulders with or without Royal Milk?
He's definitely enough. Royal Milk like picks like the CC where he can basically go on one lane by himself. And Ying, he's more of a team fight participator, so definitely different styles here where Royal Milk wants to go to the long lane and Ying wants to be involved in the fight.
I see. All right, let's get to it because now the bans are starting to come out. And first pick Harif from Falcon's side as AI has decided to let it through. The heresy continues to follow things up, right? The Natan, the Arla, and as well as the Loyi from the side of Falcon on blue side as they are first picked. And AI got rid of Chip, Angela, as well as Frederick.
I'm feeling fairness here because they did this yesterday where we were talking about how Black doesn't leave the gold lane. And that's one of the reasons why they're letting Harif through, because Harif is a lane bully. But Black is just not going to allow the Harif to get a snowball going off the lane.
There we go. There's the Faramis, like you mentioned, but they also lock in the Moskov. I think, you know, this is how AI generally wants to play, right? They make sure that they have a good pick for their mid laner, and more importantly, something with a little bit more lane influence, and that's why the Moskov probably the go-to. Not to mention, okay against the Farad.
Yeah, right now, they're picking up the Matilda as well as the Barats, where both picks will be pretty good for AI, but we've seen AI use the Florin as well in the roam position to help out the Moskov, but you need a very tanky jungler here, and the only one that is really open is the Akai, so they pick up the Florin, not wanting the Florin to get banned, and I guess according to them, we have multiple options in the jungle.
Rather interesting, because it was AI who decided to ban out the Fredrin, right? So at this point, they're getting rid of mid laners, they ban out that Valentina, makes perfect sense to me. I think from Falcon's POV, at this point, do they just want to limit down on EXP laners, or...
I feel like you got to ban the Akai.
Right? I was thinking Akai, Boxia maybe,
yeah.
Just get rid of the other two tanks.
If you want to eliminate an EXP, I feel like a Terizla would be good. Because they need some kind of setup, because they have a Florin. Florin's not going to set up a fight for you, right? So you gotta look at either your jungler or your EXP to start things off. So I'm looking at Terizla, I'm looking at Yuzong.
All right. To be fair, that is two bans. I would think that they would imagine like two bans in the same role if they really want to find that pinch here, right? So the fact that they're banning out the Akai, I don't think they're going to ban the EXP laners unless they've got inside information. There's the Boxia from the side of AI. They decided to get rid of the Valentina as well as the Nolan to maybe slow down the pace and maybe thinking that this Barats is going to EXP.
I feel like this either is a Terizla or, like, I feel like, here's the thing. Pick up the Terizla now, and then look at the composition. Maybe it's good for an export jungle to try to punish this Barats.
Possibly. I like the thoughts here. They could also wait. Then again, they really do need setters. We're used to seeing setters with AI, but I'm trying to combat that logic because AI, they go above and beyond, right? Even if they don't have a setup, we've seen them just force fights.
I mean, if they don't want to force it, then perhaps maybe have a Lapu Lapu, but I don't think Lapu Lapu is good in this kind of composition. Even a CC is not good against a Barats as well as a Harif. So, I don't know. I'm really thinking of Terizla, Yuzong being optimal picks here. If not, maybe a Ruby or something. Oh, the export. They pick up the export early.
They're doing the opposite way around because technically it goes into the EXP or goes into the jungle. They find an overlap here for the side of the AI, taking the GPT to another level. Falcons now have to finish off their comp.
Okay, so going up against the X-Borg, a Paquito. Usually we see the Paquito, and if you pick up the Paquito, you're kind of like forcing him to go to the jungle, but they pick up a CC, so they want to be able to go against the Moskov. Having that Vengeance is going to be able to isolate him away from the fight.
I like it a lot, but they still need to have that final pick. We need to know...
The Vexana?
Where, well, at least, I think the Vexana is like,
or Lilia.
Right. I was thinking more on the Lilia, yeah. I definitely was thinking more of the Lilia just to be able to kind of peel away.
Oh, wait,
because
Novaria's open as well.
Nova...
I feel like either of those three will be fine.
Either of those three is okay. And
it looks like
all right, interesting. Okay, regardless, it's about having really impactful ultimates, especially disrupting these team fight compositions, especially when you have a Farmus in it. You know, I mean, like, not even just a Farmus. Let's start adding the Florin in there. It's a team fight composition through and through.
Right now, they're having a conundrum here because X-Borg is really good against the CC, so they're like, now do you want to flex the X-Borg into EXP and then put something else in the jungle? But at that point, what do you put? An Alpha?
Yeah, I think the Alpha is like the only other thing. Dyrov. Oh, wait! Interesting. Dyrov. I mean, I was thinking about tank busters, right? Dyrov, highly punishable because usually once you leap inwards, you kind of don't have a way out. So you're all in on that fight.
The only thing is, they have a way out. Falcon, they have the Matilda, so this Dyrov has to make work very, very early. If not, everyone's just going to be surviving and dodging those Abyssal Strikes. So, I don't know. I feel like it is a very solid draft, but between both parties here, kind of feel like Falcon has the easier draft to execute.
I think my eyes are going to be like looking at Lina specifically because they could distribute their resources a little more efficiently, right? We know that that Black usually hangs around that gold lane, which gives Lina the opportunity to either roam down or up towards the EXP side to maybe create that advantage.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see how Falcon decides which part of the lane that they want to control, because not just the side lanes, they could even possibly opt to just go inside the jungle and try to see if they can get advantage there, because going up against a Dyrov, right? If he doesn't have a good early game, then he's not going to have a good game in general.
Well, let's see how good of a game it's going to be as we start loading into the land of Dawn. Purple buff starts for both our competitors here in this best of 3. Good luck, as only one may move on.
I would say this start is going to be a little bit better for the Dyrov, because his rotation, he's going to be able to meet... this is good for the Barats because he's able to move away from the Dyrov, because I kind of feel like if they're in the same part of the jungle, it's going to be more advantageous for the Dyrov.
Well, I think to a certain degree, this could be, we could look at it in 2 different ways. Either Dax wants to mirror the Dyrov and end up on the same side of the map early on, or maybe as a countermeasure to maybe not give him a quick early first blood. Now, the Little Wanderer falls into the hands of PS at this point of time, and you can see that AI, as of right now, not looking to go for those invades early 2 minutes.
Yeah, right now it does seem like Black is roaming quite a little bit more, making sure that the mid is at least equalized, because right now, honestly, Lina is getting bullied a bit, but PS goes in, unable to get a kill onto PX7, but forces out the flicker.
I mean, that's the proactive we want to see from this Dyrov, right? I mean, in the earlier stages of the game where Dyrov is by far one of the stronger heroes in MLBB, the fact that you're getting out like a flicker from Nana, that's already good. Wait, Daytona's welcome. Doesn't connect on anybody, canceled out. The rest of AI is looking to claim the space, attacking Kids. Abyssal Strike actually lands onto Kid X. That's a battle spell and a kill.
And the thing is, hitting on the roamer here is going to delay his level 4 all that much more. So the turtle fight right now is definitely in AI Esports' favor, especially considering that they could ignore the turtle altogether and just fight whoever wants to fight, because you have a Dyrov. You have that luxury where you can avoid the turtle and just kill whoever's there.
I think that's probably a good idea, but right now, we see the lane distributions. We're seeing at least Lina hitting his level 4 on time with Ying. They're going to have a man advantage at level 4 in comparison to the Falcons, who are going to slow things down by this turtle. Level 5 achieved by PS. Now, how are they going to handle this? Unless Dax goes for a Daytona's welcome cancel here, doesn't pull him back, gets stunned down, Bism Strike into the Retribution, secures the turtle as they take on this fight. Yes, he's getting chunked, but at least the Netherrealm keeps him alive. Here comes the arrow. Not going to be taken.
I feel like AI Esports, that was a very good call for them not to actually go for the fight, because even though their comp calls for it, it was just not a good situation for them to be in. But look at here, Benny almost gets Alita here. The moment that Black is not in the lane, Alita's getting bullied.
Yeah, and he is going all the way back, right? All the way up to his tier 2. He's just nervous whether Kid X decides to show up and take him out with Soul Bloom. In the meantime, he won't have his ult to get back into lane, assuming that he hits it. But, well, at least for Lina, right? He's a full level ahead.
Oh, yeah, this is very good for Lina, especially because he has that Bloom as well, so additional damage for the Fire Mist, where traditionally in the early stages of the game, the Fire Mist is only doing a marginal amount of damage. It's not a lot.
It's not great. It's not great. But it'll eventually evolve, right? And that's when we are expecting to see this Bloom actually switch on over. Here we go. PS once again attacking the mid lane. PX7 taking the damage. Circling Eagle is going to get the knock-up, and ooh, the pulls back too. Lina, he's low, forced to flicker out. Royal Milk doesn't find him, but PS kills Kid X in the meantime. Well, PS, he's trying his best, but Dax finds a trade back. Unfortunately, for PX7 is still alive, but PS having to take a loss here.
Very interesting strategy here coming in from AI, where it looks like in terms of any lanes they want to gank, the lane that they want to gank is actually the mid lane. Now Benny has to go back for a little bit, but Falcon Esports, they've been playing this team fight very, very well, where they're hitting the same targets all the time. If it's not that, if it's someone else, then they make sure that it's a single target, so their damage is maximized.
I think even more so that, like, for AI Esports, it's actually quite beneficial for them to stay here. Netherrealm being popped, he's gonna get pulled back. No Daytona's welcome. doesn't have the ult just yet. Lina not losing any battle spells, but just the Netherrealm 3 seconds before that turtle. Now, I mean, this has to be an advantage to Falcon, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's so amazing how Falcon, they're playing around this Dire very, very well. Or is it just PX not being proactive enough against this Barrage? Now the Spear of Destruction goes in.
Already landed. Oh, Alita is in for that fight. Gets pulled away by the Circling Eagle. Ying says no, catches him in the net. With no Faraga armor, he should be the next to fall as Royal Milk gets zoned out. But Ying stands his ground, allowing Lina and Black to pull Kid X into this fight as Alita pushes that mid lane at the same time. While they're trading all these resources, it is still a major win for AI on all fronts.
The timing is so good by AI because the moment they arrive, and oh, Kid X survives. But the one that I want to say is that they go for these turrets the moment it hit 5 minutes, where all of the shielding is gone. So like, I'm just impressed by the timing.
I mean, that's why they're AI esports, man. They are bots. They are literal killer machines. Benny is the only person from the side of Falcon who actually got any kind of reward. He takes top tier 1, gets the, well, at least half of the gold plating before it timed out. But at the very least, it's still a win, right?
Well, one thing that we do have to say here is that they got to be careful of this Moskov, because the fact that Benny can't bully him out, this Moskov is going to scale quite a bit. And we have to remember that the heart of the one that has been nerfed is the amount of shields that he gets. And it's going to hurt in the late game, where if he's stopped just for a little while, they'll be able to burst out the shield quite enough. And then he's not going to be able to get away. So I kind of feel like in the late game, AI Esports has a little bit of an advantage going up against Falcon. But the way that Falcon can remedy this is if, oh, before that,
got a Stampede already being used here. Circling Eagle gets Kid X out of there. Does enough damage. Spirit Destruction as well being committed by Alita, looking to try and penetrate that back line. Daxy's taking way too much here. FPS now coming in with the full bombardment. Even with the Molina Blitz, they do not find it. Falcons trying their best as Benny gets knocked right back into the wall, into PS. After the Salmon Force, nothing is working out for the Falcons.
That's where you feel the nerf. You can definitely see he doesn't have that much shield. And Royal Mick now destroying the Faraga armor, but it looks like he's taking way too much damage from AI Esports.
Yeah, I mean, they're giving so much respect, right? I feel like AI Esports, they're waiting for these big ultimates to come from the side of Falcon before you see the trigger pull.
And right now, it looks like AI Esports, they're going for this hurdle. Now Alita has the golden staff, so the damage is going to scale up quite a bit. And PS still secures the turtle.
Not even close, but now he's going for more. Hitting Dax down pretty heftily. Daytona's Welcome coming out, spits him into the wall. Benny is here for the fire. Alita wants to join, gets into the backline instantly as he's chunking out Benny. Comes straight for Kid X. He's down. Royal Milk can only hold on for so long before that vengeance times out. And here comes Alina. You know what he wants. Gets it. Splash damage. Ying gets Benny at the same time. AI Esports convincing with a 4.9k gold lead.
Yep, going to a 5,000 goal lead. Their team fight is impeccable here. Black 0-0 and 8. 100% kill participation for AI Esports. And we got to talk about Lina, how, again, you start the fight, you're very good in the middle of the fight, and you can end the fight as well. Lina now having the glowing wand is going to be more difficult for Falcon Esports frontline to actually tank the damage. And we're really looking at Royal Milk to be able to handle this Moskov, but as you can see, it's not easy to get onto Alita.
Yeah, I think for Royal Milk, his job, if he could kill the Moskov, that would be the most ideal situation. But like 9 out of 10 times, that's not happening. He's trying to create a window, right, for Falcon to get in on these fights. As of right now, I think that what AI Esports is doing much better than Falcon is dictating where this fight is going to happen, right? Each and every time we see Falcon Esports just get slowly poked out, and once they fall back into their jungle where it's nice and close, really clusterphobic, that's when AI Esports pulls it.
Something that we do have to say as well is that the damage from the Faramis is going to get multiplied just by being in these very tight spaces, because everyone is so clumped up together that the Ghost Bursters basically have the optimal amount of damage spread.
Well, PS jumps into the middle of this fight. This time, Abysm Strike. Daytona's Welcome eats him out, launches him back underneath the turret here, but the Netherrealm keeps him alive. They get a free pick, and Falcon lose their front line as AI Esports lose nothing.
Now we're looking at the differences between the EXP laners, where Ying wants to join the fight, but we can see here Royal Milk is trying his hardest to get anything on the map, right? If it's a tier 2 turret, at least that's some gold in the pocket for Falcon Esports, but AI is just going to secure this Lord for free.
This is starting to look like a checkmate angle. Let's see how hard AI Esports is able to push this momentum. They need at least 1 or 2 inhibitors off of Falcon. I don't think it's a GG push just yet, but let's discuss high ground defense here for the side of Falcons, right?
It's really not good. The only one that can really do anything is PX7. But once you use your Molina Blitz, that's like the optimum way for you to clear the lanes. After that, it's going to be pretty slow. Even the Harif can't deal with the waves. Royal Milk CC is one of the worst when it comes to actually clearing the waves. So this is not looking good for Falcon.
Here we go, Benny getting attacked. A Business Strike going to connect this time round, but unfortunately, it means that PS is going to be real low. He gets on out of there still. Huge heal coming in from Black, saving his life, bringing him back up to 50%. This might be an inhibitor clear, but no. Lord, mid lane. Second wave is starting to push on through. Black getting chunked up by the Molina's Blitz. He is 1 HP and dies to the lethal ignition. They've already lost 1 member here as PX doesn't have his flicker, but at least they get the inhibitor. Wait, they found the export. Spits him back. Faraga armor should break here. Last Insanity bails him out, and Kidek says, no, I'm not going to take the risky play here.
The Royal Milk he wants for Ying has to flicker out. He is stuck to the wall, still has the Vengeance, making sure that he survives, but that was a very risky play coming in from Royal Milk.
Oh, the Spirit Destruction! He gets it to the backline! He wants the double bat! Repositions to make sure he doesn't fall into Dax. Sidesteps the initial pullback. Alita super play comes true.
This is why the Moskov is so dangerous, man. Like, the moment you feel like the fight's over, he'll be like, no, I want it to continue. And the damage just pierces everyone through. So even if your front line instinctively wants to cover for the back line, you're not helping.
It's about angles, it's about trigonometry. Another push here to try and get another inhibitor. Retribution already uses. PS takes that front line, doing good work, but Benny gets on out of there just in time. Top inhibitor should fall as the Netherrealm keeps the rest of the members alive. They've lost too much HP. Falcons reset and look to hold as AI knock it on their door, decide to back away. No need, we've got all the inhibitors, we have the advantage. We want Falcon Esports to answer us.
Oh, it's about 10,000 gold lead now, and we got to talk about what kind of friend Lina is, man. Like, he was across the wall, he used the Netherrealm, it was not in range for PS, and his Shadow Stampede was in cooldown. He used his flicker.
Yeah.
He flickered just so that he could hit the Netherrealm onto PS.
I honestly,
what a bro move.
I think that it's not just Lina, right? Even Alita has been using the Spirit of Despair at times to, you know, knock away people like Royal and knock away Dax, especially when they're in an encroaching position on either PS, maybe even Ying sometimes. I feel like these players from AI Esports are pretty interchangeable in what they do.
Looking at the KDA now as well, only Black, the Roamer, and PS, the Jungler, has died, and they only died once apiece, so they've been very good when it comes to making sure that no one really gets punished whenever they're going for this fight, and you gotta say, that's mostly on Black healing everyone up.
The sustain is too high. Ying, he's melting down Dax, and he can't seem to get out of there. He's getting melted away. He's trying to run. Takes the guiding winds, but now Benny is exposed. Next, Royal Milk as Alita, and as well as PS won't let them go. Vengeance is already popped, and even despite the Molina Blitz, AI Esports, they just chugged on through.
I was surprised the amount of damage that Falcon took. I'm even more surprised that they survived.
I mean, it came at a cost, right? Royal Milk does not have his Vengeance. He cannot just stand in front of Alita no more. That's a Curse Helm purchase. SPS, he wants in on this. Circling Eagle coming out of the Matilda straight away. SPX tries his best. Harrod drops down. The Zaman Force. Kidda can't even get out of there. It's not even close. It's just a massacre. PS gives up his life to Benny. Ying still survives, but that's the crystal down. And AI Esports take it away.
In 13 minutes and 16 seconds, they were able to end the game. We thought this was going to be a